Well, hello. This is Dave in Dallas with another in my series of first-time home buying tips. There is an agreement that all of you will need to sign in order for an agent to be able to show you property. It's a new regulation by real estate MLSs as a result of a price fixing lawsuit that came out. Now, what had happened is that many buyers think that sellers can no longer pay the commission to your buyer's agent. That is incorrect. What changed is that sellers are prohibited from disclosing what they would pay on behalf of a buyer's agent. So you look at a listing, no longer will it show that they're willing to pay some amount to the buyer's agent to represent the buyer. But that's all right, because they still will. We just won't know what they will pay. Now, it's no different than closing costs. Generally, you don't see in a listing that a seller is willing to pay some amount of buyer closing costs. But that doesn't mean you can't ask for them. Well, what if they won't pay them? Well, then you and your agent look at both the agent fee that you've agreed to pay, as well as the closing costs that you need. And if there isn't enough there to cover that transaction, well, then that property is not a match for you. So just like if you were shopping for a property that was only single story, well, then two-story properties would not be a fit. Well, in this case, if you need closing costs, or if you require the seller to pay your fee to your buyer's agent, well, then those that won't do it are just not a match for you. So let's go over the agreement. It's several pages long. Let's see here. It's a total of 5 pages. Rather than go over all the detail, let's hit the main points. So this is for Dallas, Texas, or Texas in general. There's a definition section, which is number 3. And in number 3, letter C, you determine the market area that this agreement will apply to. So if you are dealing with me, I'm in DFW. I've been doing real estate here since 2001. So I know the markets in DFW. So I would put in that section DFW. Then if you go down to number 4, it's going to state the term. I like to work with my clients for as much time as required for us to be successful. I think that it's worthwhile for us to trust one another before we go into this agreement. And if we do, and I'm going to spend all of my expertise, which is hours and hours of time, not to show you the property, but the research behind it, in order to have you make a wise purchase. If all you needed was someone to open the door, well, then it's not worth it to pay a real estate commission. What you're paying a real estate commission for to a buyer's agent is good representation. So there's a period of time, you and the agent agree on that. Then under number 8, you agree to whether or not your agent can be an intermediary. What an intermediary is someone that can stand between a buyer and a seller and coordinate a sale. So let's say you meet me, we come to an agreement, the area we're going to do business in, the period of time that's going to cover, and then we find a property that I have listed that is my MLS listing. Then you say, it's all right, Dave, I'll look at your property, and it's all right with me that you'll get paid from the seller and the buyer, even though in this case, you and I have determined that the seller fee we're going to ask the buyer fee we're going to ask the listing agent or the seller to pay. So then you decide whether that's acceptable or not. Then under 11 is the actual brokerage fee. There is no set brokerage fee. There's a lot of conversation about what's traditional and what's not traditional. That's not important. There's a range of fees in here. So you and your real estate agent, your broker, will decide what that fee will be, and you'll fill that in the blank. The next section is what we have been talking about early in this. I call it the other section. So it's under section 11, but it's subsection 3 under F, where it says the buyer authorizes the broker to request whatever that fee is that you've agreed to from the seller for representing the buyer, and include that request in submitting the purchase offer to the seller for consideration. So you and your agent have already decided what that's going to be. You've decided that you're going to submit that to the seller. You've been authorized, or you, the buyer, has authorized me, the agent in this case. And then again, if it comes back and you've agreed to pay me some fee, whatever that is, and the seller is not willing to pay that amount, but some lesser amount, well, then you and I would have a talk about whether or not this property is a match for you, whether you wanted to pay me the difference, whether we want to look at a different property. That's between us. And in my agreement down under 16, I have an additional addendum required by the state, or by TREC, Texas Real Estate Commission, which is information about brokerage services. There's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then other that could be added to that. I get that for particular clients or buyers, depending upon what their need is. So that's the outline of the agreement. We'll have little pictures of it on the screen as I'm talking about it. But hey, do this. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and then hit the black bell so you'll be notified every single time I have a new video out. Hey, I have also got a new site, daveinDallas.com. And if you will go to daveinDallas.com and click on it, you'll be able to put in your email, and I will automatically have delivered to that email a first-time buyer's booklet on how to go through the first-time buyer process. So it's free. All you need to do is give me your email. I won't hound you. We do have privacy. We don't share your information with anybody. And once you are part of my organization, there's all sorts of cool things that I'll send you. I got some things I just sent out for Halloween. I've got something coming up for Thanksgiving, things coming up for Christmas, New Year's, and then, of course, once I get to know you, and there's birthdays and other things that I would know about you, maybe your children's birthday, whatever that case would be. So give me the thumbs up, and look forward to getting your feedback. Come on and join me. Let's have some fun. I can help you analyze the market and decide whether or not it's best for you to buy now or it's best for you to lease. In some cases, it's less expensive to lease that same property than it is to buy it. And so there'd be a deeper discussion we'd have about why you'd be willing to pay more per month to own it if you put very little down, as opposed to a lower rent, so you can build equity. There's a whole bunch of ways we could analyze that. But my job is not to tell you what to do, but to give you the supporting detail and input and advice so you can decide for yourself the best thing to do. So this is Dave in Dallas, thanking you for your time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me some comments, subscribe, and look at some of the other videos there. I think I'm getting, just in this section, there's maybe 170, 180 videos, but I think about maybe 25 or 30 of them at this time are all real estate related. A lot for first-time buyers, a little bit for sellers as well. Looking forward to seeing you and helping you acquire a property. Talk to you soon. This is Dave in Dallas for David D. McElroy Real Estate. To your success.